Fox News alert: the bill to permanently extend the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund is expected to pass today in the Senate. If approved, it would replenish the fund that was set up after the attacks of 9/11 in New York and Washington to pay for the medical treatment for first responders who suffered illnesses as a result. They came from all over the country, too. With reaction now, 9/11 first responder John Feal in Washington, D.C. John, welcome back to our program. It's nice to see you. Two very basic questions. If the Senate passes it, will the president sign it?
Well, one, thank you for having me again, and thank you to Fox, everybody at Fox News. You guys have been amazing. Shep, Brett, you guys, I can't thank you enough. And you guys truly helped us get here today. And the bill's going to get passed today, and the bill's going to go to the president, who's going to sign it on Friday. The White House called me this morning, and you know, for the men and women that I keep bringing down here after 15 years, and I'm just so ecstatic for them. Listen, we're not going to celebrate. We're not going to jump up and down. I'm sure we're going to hug and cry. We're going to exhale. But we're going to help tens of thousands of people. And, you know, getting the legislation passed just pads the resume. But the friendships in the 9/11 community on Capitol Hill and with all you guys in the media, that's what means the most to me.
I'm sorry, Sandra, is it 10? That's something that we've always tried to figure out. How great is the need? How many people is it? I mean, you said tens of thousands?
Yeah, well, I mean, 20,000 people and change have been compensated. Another 20 are waiting. We expect another 20 to come forward with more illnesses. And these aren't just us saying this. This is what NIOSH, who works for the CDC, has predicted. You know, Louis Alvarez, who died on June 29th, sadly, 18 people have passed since Louis. All of these men and women were in the World Trade Center Health Program. All of them had VCF claims. And they, too, like Louis Alvarez, have passed away. So there's over 12,000 people right now with a certified cancer, so says the federal government. It's only getting worse. It's not getting better. And getting this bill passed is not going to save anybody's lives. But what it's going to do is offer financial relief and comfort and take away the burden and the stress of those who lose a loved one, that they're not strapped financially and destitute. That's all it is.
And before he passed away, he gave his first interview on Fox News Channel with Shep, and it was so moving. And he wanted his legacy and to people to remember him and look back at his life as someone who fought for our first responders. This has been such a personal fight for you, John, and we've spoken several times through this process. And what has this fight been like, and why have you taken this so head on?
Great question. Not many people ever asked me that one. Yeah, it's personal. You know, before everybody got sick and denied benefits, I got hurt. I lost half of my foot. I spent 11 weeks in the hospital with gangrene. But, you know, and I don't want to cliche this, but you know Leo's saying there's always someone worse off than you. And I saw that firsthand. And I've been to 182 funerals now going to Louis', and I'm blessed. I'm lucky. You know, I lost half a foot. I spent 11 weeks in the hospital, and look at me. I'm loud. I'm noxious. I'm in the face of elected officials. I've now helped pass 5 bills in Congress, 5 in Albany, 2 in New Jersey, and 1 in Michigan. And if I continue doing this the rest of my life, then you know, I'm going to take the worst day of my life, September 17, 2001, and make this the best of the rest of my life.
You had some criticisms of some members of Congress, including Mitch McConnell, for not acting and moving fast enough on this. Rand Paul has spoken up about the costs involved. Where would you characterize this battle today? Obviously, you got the phone call from the White House today, but the response that you saw from lawmakers.
Well, Mitch McConnell's been nothing but gracious, and he kept his word. When we had that meeting with him, I could tell you he's in the 1% of people keeping their word in Washington, D.C. And while we don't always agree on everything, Mr. McConnell has kept his word, and he's actually helped us get here today. And as for Rand Paul and Mike Lee, you can't cherry pick and choose when you want to be a fiscal conservative hawk. You know, they both signed on to the $1 trillion tax cut. Whether you're for it or against it, that added to the deficit. So by saying our bill over 71 years at $15 billion will add to the deficit it's just ludicrous. It's insulting to our intelligence, and shame on them. They got to live with that. They're going to present amendments today, and they're going to get shot down. They're not going to get to the 60-vote threshold that they need, and we're going to get a bill signed and passed today and signed on Friday. And tens of thousands of people, not just in New York. These are people that went to the Pentagon, Shanksville. You know,
All over the
433
country.
out of 435
Yeah.
congressional districts were represented at Ground Zero.
Yeah, so many of them. You can see them in New York in 2001, September, October, November. They came from all over the country too, and volunteered.
You know, when I got hurt, I had an ambulance from Michigan take me to the hospital, and they would never got there if I didn't have a 4-car police escort to Bellevue. So, you know, everybody from every state came to Ground Zero or the Pentagon or Shanksville. And that's what America's about. It's the spirit of the American people, the humanity in the American people. And we all came together. And now, today, the Senate is going to come together and take our worst day, worst weeks, and worst months, and certainly our worst 18 years. They're going to make it their finest hour, and they're going to pass a bipartisan bill and come together.
Okay.
And then it's going to go to the president's desk.
Thank you, John. John Feal in Washington, D.C. today.
Thank you, John.
Yet again. Thanks,
Thank you
John.
so much.
Yeah, you
Thank
bet.
you.